Welcome back to Insightful Wanderer. Today we have a true event for you, but first don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. It truly helps us to bring more stories to you. Now let's get into it. Tonight we travel back to 1846, to a journey that began with hope and ended in one of the darkest survival stories in American history. This is the true story of the Donner Party. If you like stories like this, don't forget to share, like and subscribe. Now let's begin. In the 1800s, America was expanding. The idea of manifest destiny, the belief that Americans were meant to settle from coast to coast, inspired thousands to leave everything behind. In April of 1846, a group of families left Springfield, Illinois. They were ordinary people, farmers, mothers, children. Among them were brothers George Donner and Jacob Donner. They were headed to California, a land described as fertile, golden, full of opportunity. The journey would take months, over 2,000 miles, across plains, deserts, and mountains. They had no idea what was coming. The danger, the suffering. The wagon train joined others heading west along the Oregon Trail. Progress was slow but steady. Then they heard about a shortcut, a new route called the Hastings Cutoff. It was promoted by a man named Lansford Hastings. He claimed it would save time, but Hastings had barely traveled it himself. Against advice from experienced travelers, the Donner Group chose the shortcut. It was a fatal mistake. The shortcut led them into the Wasatch Mountains of Utah. There was no proper road. They had to cut their own path through dense forest. Wagons broke, oxen died, supplies dwindled. Time slipped away. By the time they reached the Great Salt Lake Desert, they were already behind schedule. The desert crossing was brutal. No water, blazing sun, salt flats stretching endlessly. Animals collapsed from dehydration. Wagons were abandoned. Families walked beside their remaining livestock when they finally reached the other side. They were weeks behind. Winter was coming, and ahead of them stood the Sierra Nevada mountains. Mountains like they have never seen ever. In late October 1846, the Donner Party reached the Sierra Nevada. Then the snow came. Early, heavy, relentless. Snowdrifts blocked the mountain pass. Attempts to cross failed. Oxen couldn't pull the wagons. Families were forced to stop near what is now known as Donner Lake. They built crude cabins from logs. Others stayed in makeshift tents. Then more snow fell, and more. The pass was sealed. They were trapped, totally trapped. At first they rationed food carefully. Flour, dried meat, a few cattle. Soon the cattle were gone. Then the hides were boiled for soup. They stripped bark from trees, boiled bones repeatedly. Children cried from hunger. Temperatures dropped below freezing. Frostbite set in. Some died quietly in their sleep. By December, starvation became unbearable, and the unthinkable began to surface, and surface it did. In desperation, 17 members attempted to cross the mountains on foot to seek help. They fashioned makeshift snowshoes. This group would later be called the Forlorn Hope. Among them were mothers, teenagers, and guides. They trudged through deep snow. Food ran out quickly. One by one, members collapsed. Some died from exhaustion, others from starvation. Eventually, the survivors resorted to cannibalism. They consumed the bodies of those who had already died. It was the only way to stay alive after 33 days in the wilderness. 7 members reached a settlement in California. Rescue parties were organized. They rallied round the best they could. Back at the lake, conditions were horrific. Snow-buried cabins, food was gone, more deaths followed. Eventually cannibalism occurred there as well. Not out of violence, not out of cruelty, but survival. In February 1847, the first rescue party arrived. They found skeletal survivors, sunken eyes, too weak to stand. Rescuers carried out children first. Multiple rescue missions were needed. Some rescuers themselves nearly died, only holding on barely. One of the last to be rescued was George Donner. He had injured his hand earlier in the journey. Infection set in. He grew weaker as winter dragged on. By the time rescuers reached his cabin, he was too weak to move. He died in April 1847. His wife survived. Out of approximately 87 pioneers who entered the mountains, only 48 survived. Nearly half perished. The story spread across America. Newspapers sensationalized it. The name Donner Party became synonymous with horror. But behind the headlines were real families, real children, people chasing opportunity. Many survivors carried trauma for the rest of their lives. Some refused to speak of what happened. Others defended their actions as necessary for survival. Historians now recognize the disaster as a combination of poor leadership, bad timing, misinformation, and brutal weather like they have never seen. Today, the site near Donner Lake is a memorial. A monument stands taller than the height of the snow during that winter. It reminds visitors how deep the snow once buried those cabins. The tragedy became a warning. Preparation matters. Shortcuts can cost everything. Nature does not negotiate, and hope alone is not enough. The Donner Party did not begin as a horror story. It began as a dream shared by thousands in the 1800s. To build a better life, but history reminds us ambition without caution can be deadly, and survival sometimes demands unimaginable choices. If you found this story powerful, like, comment, and subscribe to Insightful Wanderer. There are many more forgotten stories waiting to be told. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and keep wandering.